Hey, welcome to your Scorpio horoscopes for the week of October 15th through the 21st. Scorpio season is coming just next week, you guys. I hope you're ready, getting your party together. We have Mars in Scorpio, and we are kicking off the week with the moon in Scorpio as well, in conjunction with Mars. Now, this is a little bit scary, actually, really, because we're talking about Mars, which is an very aggressive energy mixed with a very emotional planet. So, there are good points and there are bad points to that. All of that is focused in your career specifically. And as the moon moves through your sign, is going to move that focus into your support system. But let's just start with Sunday, the very beginning of the week here, as the moon and Mars are in conjunction with each other. Both planets move into a square with Pluto, and the moon actually joins that square at the end of the week also. So we're beginning and ending with the week with the moon in that square, or somehow playing into that square with Pluto. Pluto's focus is on the past. And what's actually a little bit interesting about this here, because with Mars's energy going towards your career, there's a couple of things that come up. One, making sure you don't make the same mistakes that you have in the past. For example, we're talking about Mars. Mars energy tends to really burn you out. And so if you are working and working and working to the point where you're getting burnt out, if this is a pattern, this is not going to end well. We're just going to put that way. As we actually move to the end of the week, when the moon moves into position to be in conjunction with Pluto, we keep the same meaning in terms of don't burn yourself out, but we're also showing how you can burn yourself out specifically, because the moon is a very emotional planet. So many times for many of us, when we have that burnout, it tends to become an emotional thing, where it's almost like it's not a physical I'm sick because I've literally used up all my energy, but an emotional I just can't seem to find myself, find a way out of this situation, if that makes sense. So it's very uncomfortable either way. But Mars and the moon also are in a trine with Saturn right at the beginning of the week as well. Now, Saturn is also focused on the past as well, but in a little bit of a different way. It's showing you your responsibilities in this recurring problem, and understanding what you're doing to continue to create this problem means everything. If you are denying or not looking at what you are doing to create this problem, you can't change it. You can't fix it. It basically is just stuck the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about that. And that keeps the frustration going literally forever. So actually, Saturn's influence is sort of helping to open your eyes to that. Now, it's never pleasant to look at what you're doing, quote unquote, wrong, but it's necessary, because if you don't look at it, you can't fix it. It's just as simple as that. As we move into Monday, the moon moves into opposition with Uranus and Pluto. And that's a bit of a challenge as well, because the moon is focused on your support system at this point. Jupiter and Uranus are focused on those you love. This always creates that quintessential, those people that you support should be there to support you, and they're just not, unfortunately. And so when you're trying to get through this problem that you're having, you can't seem to find anybody that can help you with it, which, if you want to know what causes an emotional reaction, that's definitely going to do it. As we move into Tuesday and the moon is moving out of your sign, the moon moves into an opposition, or continues that opposition, I should say, with Uranus, also moves into a square with Saturn. Now, at first, Saturn was in a helpful spot, and now Saturn is not in a helpful spot. this has a lot to do with you and what you are willing to accept about your own responsibility. So here's really a good example of that, because I run across this a lot in myself, I have, but also within my clients. Now, when I ask somebody to look at their responsibility in a problem within a relationship, let's just say, they will either one, be able to identify that they do have a responsibility in it, but they justify why they're taking that responsibility. Or two, they just don't see the responsibility in it. They're too busy pointing the finger at other people. Now, when you're in that place where you're pointing the finger at other people, you're handing your power over to other people, number one, never a good thing. Number two, you're making it so that you are powerless to change the situation, which is also never a good thing. The moon also moves into a trine with Neptune and a sextile with Pluto. So again, we had an issue with Pluto. Now we're moving into Pluto being very helpful. It's like they've swapped from day one to day three, because we had an issue with Pluto, but Saturn was helpful. And now we're having an issue with Saturn, and Pluto is helpful. And Pluto is your source of power. It's all about change and transformation. And it's reminding you that when you did harness that power in the past, it probably worked out in your favor. So let's do that again. We also have a trine with Neptune. Neptune is very much focused on the mind. And in terms of support, this is amazing, okay? Because what this is saying here is that your best support system are your own guides, is your own intuition. You have all the tools that you need. You don't need help from anybody else. Yes, we always need help from other human beings, but when you absolutely can't get it, it's probably the universe saying you don't need it. You have everything you need inside of you. With Neptune's focus on the mind in retrograde, Neptune is all about intuition. If you are over worrying, if you are micromanaging in your head, if you are over planning, you're not allowing that intuition to come through and help you when you need it. And that's really important. So luckily, the way that I look at that is taking some time, meditation, clearing your mind to be able to focus allows that intuition to come through and guide you in the direction that you need to go in, so that you can eliminate this problem if there is an actual problem, if that makes sense. As we move into Wednesday, that moon moves on and it is no longer there as a viable problem anymore. We do still have Saturn's opposition with Jupiter. Jupiter is focused on those you love, while again, Mars is focused on career. So we're talking putting a lot of energy, more energy towards your job than those that you love. And this may, pardon me, this may come up as a challenge, actually, throughout the week, but usually is shown in the form of, say, your kids coming up to you. And there was this great commercial, actually, many years ago, where the woman was in a suit and she was on her way to the office, and she's running into the kitchen to try and get her cup of coffee so she can leave, and the kids are like, "Hey mom, can we go to the beach today? Hey mom, can we do this? Hey mom, can we do that?" And mom is like, "I'm so sorry, I have a client early this morning and I can't do it, I'm so busy." And the little girl says, "When do I get to be a client?" And that was her little way of saying, "Mom, you need to spend time with me too." And in the end of the whole commercial, she takes the day off and takes the kids to the beach. So basically, this is what I feel is going to be coming up for you guys, is that focus and focus and focus on what you need to do in your career, because yes, that is important. And then the family comes in and it's like, "Hey, when's it our turn? We'd like some of your time as well." And it puts you in that sort of frustrated situation where it feels like they're basically accusing you of not spending time with them. That's not necessarily what's going on. They just would like to share some of that time. So managing your frustration on that definitely helps to make that less difficult of a challenge than it really needs to be. And by Friday, it's pretty much gone. So you won't have that challenge all week long. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description of the video and send me a copy. That is my tip and donation link, and I would really appreciate that. I appreciate all the copies. If you are listening rather than viewing this, ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic. Also check out heavymetalpsychic.com. You can book a reading right away on the website. It's super duper duper easy. Just go to the booking page. I think the booking link might actually even be on the home page too. So check that out. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, continue to be the magical people that you know you are. It may be a little bit busy this week, but you guys got a handle on it. You always do. Make it a great week, and I will see you all next week.